Good day everyone, this is Jenny's fashion channel. Thanks to all my amazing fans and subscribers. This channel is all about leveling up on your fashion designing skill. And today, I'm going to teach you how to cut a short skirt with butt allocation. So if it is what you are all about, you are definitely at the right place. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, now will be a very good time for you to smash on the subscribe button and turn on your notification bell so that you'll be notified each time I upload a new video. Without further ado, let's jump right in, shall we? The first thing is to draw a line as my baseline, which will also serve as my waistline. Then I'm going to come down by 9 inches for my hip line, taking 2 inches off for my band, and I will come down by 18 inches for the full skirt length. Then I will add 2 inches for hemming allowance. I'm going to draw the lines. Then I'm going to get my hip measurement divided by 2. Okay, it will give me 20 inches because the hip measurement I am working with is 40 inches. So if I divide it by 2, it will give me 20 inches. That's 20 inches for the front part and 20 inches for the back part. But I'm not going to allocate it that way because of the butt, okay? Human body is bigger behind. So I'm going to remove 1 inch from the front panel hip line and allocate it to the back part. So 20 inches for the front panel minus 1 inch. It will give me 19 inches. So what I will work with for the front part is 19 inches. So when I get to the back part, I'm going to add that 1 inch to 20 inches. It will give me 21 inches. So for the front part, 19 inches divided by 2 will give me 9.5 inches. And I'm going to add 1 inch for joining allowance. I will mark it on the hip line, mark the same thing on the waistline, mark the same thing on the full skirt length and the hemming allowance line. Then I'm going to connect like those. Then I'm going to take my bust span, that's my nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2. I will mark it on the waistline. Then the next thing is to get where the dart will stop. So I'm going to come down by 4.5 inches, okay? I will mark and I'm going to connect like so. Then from those points, I'm going to go in by half an inch and go out by half an inch to form a dart. Then I'm going to connect like so. Then I'm going to take my waist measurement divided by 4. I will add this 1 inch dart intake here plus 1 inch for joining allowance. I will mark it on the waistline and I'm going to connect it to the hip line like so. Then on this full skirt length, I'm going to go in by 1/4 of an inch, okay, to create a kind of pencil effect, okay? Though this is purely optional, you can leave it that way, okay, if you want. Then I'm going to connect it to the hip line like so. Then from this my waistline, I'm going to come down by 1 inch, okay? But if you have a very big stomach, you can come down by 1.5 inches. This is not going to affect the length of the skirt in any way. This is to remove the bulginess on that part and also to accommodate your stomach. Then I will mark and I'm going to connect to the other end of the waistline like so. Then I will add half an inch joining allowance. I will mark and I'm going to connect like so. So guys, that's it. I'll now go ahead and cut. So guys, this is it for the front part. I will now move into the back part. I will first take out about 2 inches for my zipper and my butt allocation. I will mark and I'm going to draw the line. Then I'm going to draw a line here as my baseline, which will also serve as my waistline. Then I'm going to come down by 9 inches for the hip line, taking 2 inches off for the band. And I'm going to come down by 18 inches for the full skirt length. And I'm going to add 2 inches for hemming allowance. I'm going to draw the lines. Then from this my hip line, I'm going to go out by 1/2 inch. This is for butt allocation. But if the difference between your waist measurement and your hip measurement is above 10 inches, that's if your waist measurement is like 32 inches and your hip measurement is like 45 inches, that's the difference is now 13 inches, we are going to go out by 1 inch. But if the difference between your waist measurement and your hip measurement is from 10 inches down, you go out by 1/2 inch. I will mark and I'm going to connect to the waistline like so. Then I'm going to go down from this my hip point by 5 inches. I will mark it and I'm going to connect it to this my hip point like so. Then the next thing is to get my dart. So I'm going to take my nipple to nipple measurement, divide by 2. I will mark it on the waistline. Then for where the dart will stop, I'm going to come down by 5.5 inches. I will mark and I'm going to connect like those. Then from those points, I'm going to go in by 1/2 inch and go out by 1/2 inch to form the dart. Then I'm going to connect like so. Then I'm going to take my waist measurement, divide by 4. I'm going to replace this 1 inch dart intake here plus 1 inch for joining. I will mark it. Then on the hip line, the hip measurement we are working with is 40 inches. If we divide it by 2, it will give me 20 inches. That's 20 for the front part and 20 for the back part. But remember that we removed 1 inch from the front part. So that 1 inch we remove from the front part, we are going to allocate it to the back part. So I have 20 inches for the back part plus that 1 inch. It will give me 21 inches. So I'm going to divide it by 2. It will give me 10.5 inches. So I'm going to start taking my measurement from this 1/2 inch I went out with, okay? Then I'm going to add 1 inch for joining allowance. I will mark it. Then I'm going to connect to the waistline like so. And I will connect this my hip line straight down to the joining allowance line. Then on this my full skirt length, I'm going to go in by 1/4 inch. I will mark it and I'm going to connect to the hip line like so. Then on this my waistline, I'm going to go in by 1/2 inch. This is to remove any form of bulginess on the waist area. I will mark and I'm going to connect to the butt curve like so. Then I will add 1/2 inch joining allowance on the waistline. I will mark and I'm going to connect like those. So guys, this is it, and I will cut. Then for my zipper, I will start taking my zipper allowance from that 1/2 inch I went in with on the waist area. Then I'm going to carry on like so, following this curve, okay? Then I will connect my markings. So guys, this is just it. It is that simple, and I will go ahead and cut. Then for the waistband, I'm going to measure the waistline of the front panel and the back panel. For the front part, I have 8.5 inches, excluding the dart intake, okay? Because I'm going to close that dart intake up, okay, before taking the measurement. Then for the back part, I have 9.5 inches, including the zipper allowance and excluding the dart intake, okay? So altogether, I have 18 inches. So I'm going to use that 18 inches to cut out my waistband while on fold, okay? So the first thing is to draw a line as my baseline. Then I'm going to measure the 18 inches here. I will mark and I'm going to draw the line. Then for the waistband, we remove 2 inches for the waistband, but I'm going to add half an inch for joining allowance. So altogether I have 2.5 inches. I will mark and I'm going to draw the line. So guys, this is it. Remember that the upper part is going to be on fold, okay? And this part will also be on fold, okay? So guys, this is just it. It is that simple. And this is all I have for you for today. If you find this tutorial helpful, please subscribe, comment, like and share. See you in my next video. Bye.